This is CleanTV, family-friendly national news on demand. I'm Jerry McLaughlin reporting what's happening on Monday, July 12, 2010. Federal Judge James Zagel once again denied another motion from the defense for a mistrial in Rob Blagojevich's corruption case. Now, for those of you that don't know, Blagojevich is a former governor of Illinois, and he's up for corruption, and he's been a close friend of Barack Obama. Well, we'll read on. Lawyers representing the impeached former Illinois governor say that they've not been given the opportunity to pursue meaningful cross-examination of prosecution witnesses, most recently citing the cross-examination of FBI agent Patrick Murphy, who took the stand earlier last week on behalf of the prosecution. Previous defense motions for mistrials have been filed and entered by Judge Zagel, and that basically means the court took note of the mistrial motions but ignored them and allowed testimony to continue. Blagojevich's defense contends her client is not being allowed to present an adequate defense. Part of this is because the judge keeps protecting tape-recorded conversations that implicate Barack Obama to such a degree that if they were ever deemed admissible, many are understanding that they would be leading to immediate impeachment proceedings in the U.S. Senate. Maybe we'll get justice there eventually. We'll see. Debate is underway in the French Parliament over the issue of banning the wearing of graphic Islamic veils in public. The bill now in front of the lower house would make the wearing of the burqa illegal in public. The burqa is a loose-fitting garment worn over women's clothing that covers the entire body, leaving only her hand and eyes exposed. The niqab is a face veil that can be worn with the burqa. Other countries like Spain and Belgium have similar bills under debate. A fine would be imposed for women who wear the items in public, while men forcing to wear the veil could be fined as well and could be subject to a year in jail. Police unions in France have expressed some concerns over how such a law would be enforced and how the women would be required to remove the burqa or niqab, if it's just the face veil alone. A vote in the French lower house could be taken as early as next week, while a vote in the full vote in the Senate could come early in September. The legislation that Congress is passing these days is cumbersome. Bills are hundreds of pages in length, and one would assume that somebody is reading them before they're voting, but don't assume too quickly. It's amazing how certain provisions never seem to come to the surface until the day of the vote itself, and oftentimes after the vote. We mention this because upon careful inspection of a fine-tooth comb search, has discovered a little shocker in the final version of the financial reform bill that was passed by the House and now awaits the Senate approval. An editor at the Real Clear Markets website was reviewing the legislation and discovered it contains quotas for all financial institutions doing business with the federal government, detailing what percentage of female and minority employees are in place. Enforcing the standards will be the new Offices of Women and Minorities. So, Big Brother, or in this case, Big Sister, truly is watching. South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham has done little to ingratiate himself to the Tea Party movement of Americans who are demanding a return of constitutional government. Amen to that. Just before Independence Day, Graham went on record to dismiss the Tea Party completely, labeling it as disorganized, a fad that is unsustainable because they can never come up with coherent vision for governing the country, unquote. Now, the Tea Partiers are hitting back, spearheaded by individuals such as businessmen, economist, and published columnist Terry Eason, who contends that progressive politicians like Graham are trying to discredit the Tea Party because it threatens their liberal or progressive, whatever you want to call it, agenda. In a direct response to Graham's assertion, a press release announcing Easton's new book, Refounding America, points out that coherent vision for this movement is clear. 61% of Tea Party members are committed to the reduction of the national debt and significantly shrinking the size of federal government. Easton sums it up in one sentence, quote, "In other words, it's the Constitution, stupid," unquote. Well, I'm not sure about the word stupid, but he certainly has the rest of it right. His new book is titled Refounding America, a Field Manual for Patriot Activists, and it details the history of progressives in America, sharing dozens of strategies using their tactics against them to win elections for patriots. Riots broke out in Oakland, California after a jury refused to render a murder verdict against a white police officer, a transit worker, who was caught on videotape last year shooting to death a black man who was found to be unarmed. Apparently, the guilty verdict of involuntary manslaughter was not enough for the faction of the 1,000 demonstrators who quickly transitioned from a peaceful protest to a full-scale violent mob, setting fires to trash cans, breaking into cars, shattering store windows. Oh my goodness, these pictures or something else, and looting up a storm. By the time all the smoke clears, Oakland police estimate that 100 arrests will have been made. Hey, what's black and white and red all over, except without any black or red? Answer? Crystal Bowersox's new white smile. That's right. The popular Nouveau hippie has traded in her old, kind of yellow, space teeth smile for a new Hollywood smile. For a recording deal, and American Idol runner-up will join other popular and prolific recording artists at Jive Records, including Usher, Britney Spears, and Pink. But now, what kind of music will formerly folksy flower child Bowersox have flowing through her new pearly white teeth? Perhaps Crystal's recent Twitter tweet may offer some credible foreshadowing, wherein she was asked this cryptic, she actually personally asked this cryptic question, quote, "Would you all hate it if I sang a pop song?" Unquote. Well, we shall see. I would venture to guess that she's going to do some pop songs. And speaking of changes to their identities, remember those 10 Russian spies just nabbed after years of tracking? Well, they've all been swapped for 10 men accused by Moscow of spying on Mother Russia. The great exchange was made on the tarmac at Vienna's International Airport on the historic date of 7/7/10. Now, this concludes another edition of CleanTV Family Friendly News. Thank you for watching. I'm Jerry McLaughlin reporting.